Baby, baby, baby. Those, my friends, are the opening lines to Slade's Come On Feel the Noise. And Jim Lee of Slade is one of my favorite bass players. The bass I'm featuring today is built by John Diggins of Jaydee Guitars in Birmingham, England. This is an exact replica of Jim Lee's John Birch bass that was built for Jim when his EB3 was stolen out of John Birch's shop around 1975. This is a really cool bass. I was so pleased to get it. Jim Lee was personally involved in the project. He put his bass up as a pattern. He donated the volume knob for the distortion unit from his bass, and it now resides on my bass, which is really cool. A friend of mine in the UK, another bass brother, Stu Rutter, donated this bridge to the project. It's a 1970s John Birch bridge. These parts are hard as anything to find, so it was a very kind thing for a fellow Slade fan to do for me. The pickups are original 1970s John Birch Hyperflux pickups that John Diggins of Jaydee Guitars had in his personal stash and donated to the project. It was just really a dream come true. I've always loved Jim Lee's playing. He's very melodic, but very powerful. I always kind of describe him as like Paul McCartney on steroids. Just very tasty bass lines. They tie the song together. He does melody, he does lead. Just a very influential player for me. Often overlooked here in the States, but in the rest of the world, he's very well regarded. This bass is unique. It features all maple neck-through construction. It has a built-in distortion circuit right here, which is really cool. And Jim Lee made very good use of that in his songs. The bass is short scale, like a Gibson EB3. It has a maple neck, maple fingerboard, really nice 2-ply binding on the neck. John Diggins, it's hard to see, there it is. But John Diggins did just a beautiful job recreating Jim's bass. I mean, to every last detail, it's amazing. The distortion circuit is an exact copy of Jim's, handmade on a circuit board with all the correct transistors and resistors and whatever it took to build it. It just really, I could tell John Diggins really wanted to do this project as well. He really, put his heart into it, and it shows in this bass. It's just beautifully crafted, beautiful finish. The back features, what John Birch did on a lot of his basses was a big, what they call a scratch plate over in England, but it prevents buckle rash. Unfortunately, it covers up the back of the guitar so you can't see the beautiful wood. Or Jim Lee wrote me a very nice personal note, and that's under there. And you can also see Jim Lee's signature right there. So it was just really a thrill to get this bass. I waited about 1.5 years for it, and it was well worth the wait. What does it sound like? Well, this little amp doesn't do it justice, but it just it has a really aggressive, punchy sound. These Hyperflux pickups are some of the most powerful passive pickups ever put on a bass. Let's give you a little taste what the distortion circuit sounds like. And again, the little amp doesn't do it justice. I should do a video of this with my high watts. Some of you might recognize that as the intro to Goodbye to Jane by Slade. Jim Lee did that an awful lot. He would do a lead melody part in the intro of a song and incorporate the distortion circuit. A lot of times people would think it was the lead guitar doing it, but it wasn't. It was Jim Lee playing the bass. You know, and again, just he was so influential for me. For the longest time, I wanted an EB3 like he had. Not because Jack Bruce had one, or even Andy Frazier, but because Jim Lee had one. And eventually, I gravitated to Thunderbirds because some of my other favorite players use Thunderbirds. So it was a real crossroads for me to go, you know, to shift to the Thunderbird, because I did love Jim's playing on the EB3 and then this John Birch bass so much. But again, mine is built by Jaydee Guitars in Birmingham, England. John Diggins, thank you so much. This was a dream come true to have this bass built. But it features, you know, the Gibson EB body style, you know, with the very sharp, chamfers and carving on the body. It just amazing piece of work. Look at the sunburst on the edges. John Diggins did such a beautiful job on this. And Jim Lee was involved in this project, really thrilled me to death. I was supposed to fly over and meet Jim upon completion of the bass, but finances didn't allow for that. But this was still a thrill of a lifetime for me. I took delivery of the bass in 2003, and I thought it was about time I made a video and showed everybody showed the bass, told its little story, and what it can sound like. Jim was known for his bass solos. He would play Purple Haze. I'm going to attempt it. I'll probably mess it up, but not too bad. I made it through it. But Jim would use that in his late 70s, early 80s live solo. Again, Jim Lee's John Birch bass, replica built by John Diggins of Jaydee Guitars in Birmingham, England. It's really such a stunning bass and just a cool piece of history. And I'm just so glad to have it in my collection. And again, John Diggins and Jim Lee, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Keep on rocking, folks.